How often do you find an item that doesn't seem to belong somewhere? What if you found a dead mouse in your box of cereal? That's the general idea behind certain cultural relics that have recently surfaced in unexpected places. Join us as we look at terrifying cave carvings in Egypt that match symbols found around the world. Gosford Glyphs. A group of inscriptions known as the Gosford Glyphs can be found in the Gosford region of Australia's New South Wales. Historians, archaeologists, and fans are deeply divided over these engravings, with many claiming they were created by ancient Egyptians or another pre-European civilization. The glyphs are in Brisbane Water National Park, close to New South Wales's central coast, on the side of a rock face. Some have compared the carvings to ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics because of the abundance of symbols and figure-like depictions they include. But there is a lot of disagreement about whether the glyphs are real. Most scholars dismiss them as fakes, rather than authentic antique inscriptions. Others have speculated that they might be the work of local enthusiasts influenced by ancient cultures, while still others think they might be a hoax. Nevertheless, the Gosford Glyphs continue to pique interest in fringe archaeology as an intriguing example of the complications and debates that can emerge when evaluating assertions of long-lost civilizations in unlikely places. Egyptian Apis bull carving in U.S. desert. What some have called the Egyptian Apis bull carving in the American desert is actually a petroglyph that some believe depicts the ancient Egyptian god Apis, who was linked with immortality, fertility, and power. The engraving is frequently brought up in discussions regarding ancient transoceanic contact, which proposes that Egyptians may have visited or had an impact on American cultures prior to European contact. The carving is said to show the shape of a bull with unique characteristics, possibly representing the sacred Apis bull in ancient Egyptian religion and culture. The legitimacy of this engraving is a matter of controversy, just like other claims of ancient transoceanic relations. Supporters say it shows Egyptian influence, while detractors say it could be the result of erosion or other geological processes. Most historians and archaeologists reject the notion that the indigenous North Americans and the ancient Egyptians had direct interaction. There is no solid proof of such relationships in the archaeological record. The Olmec and African contact theory. In debates concerning ancient transoceanic contact theories, particularly those pertaining to possible interactions with African civilizations, the Olmec civilization, which thrived in Mesoamerica from around 1400 to 400 BCE, is frequently referenced. The lowlands of modern-day southeastern Mexico, particularly the states of Veracruz and Tabasco, were the epicenter of the Olmec civilization. According to those who believe in the African contact theory, the Olmecs and ancient African civilizations exchanged ideas and products, especially in the areas of art, technology, and shared cultural characteristics. Some scholars have found that some Olmec sculptures include elements typical of African art, such as depictions of people with African traits on their faces. Some argue that cultural activities, like the veneration of particular gods or the application of particular farming methods, may be shared between the two areas. There is a consensus among prominent historians and archaeologists that there is not enough proof to back up the claim that the Olmec civilization had direct contact with ancient Africa. Many consider the arguments to be very speculative, as they depend on anecdotal evidence instead of concrete archaeological evidence or written records. The Viking blades ahead of their time. Many people think Viking blades were ahead of their time because of how well-made and long-lasting they were. The Vikings, who existed during the 8th and 11th centuries, were master blacksmiths and metallurgists, and their weaponry reflects this. One of the forging techniques used to make Viking swords and blades was pattern welding. Forging together various iron and steel bars resulted in unique designs that improved the blade's strength and flexibility while also improving its aesthetic value. High-carbon steel, which could be produced using finery or bloomery procedures, was a common material for Viking blades. Edges could be sharpened to perfection, but the core remained durable because of the utilization of various steel grades. The Vikings were masters of blade craftsmanship, producing a wide variety of weapons such swords, axes, and seekses, which are single-edged knives. Broad blades that could be slashed or thrust made up these weapons. Swords created by the Vikings often featured a graceful tapering shape that served a dual purpose. The mysterious ring, linking two worlds, silver alloy with colored glass. Those interested in ancient history, archaeology, and artifacts are sure to be captivated by the reference to a mysterious ring linking two worlds, crafted of silver alloy and tinted glass. The ring's metal composition could include silver and other metals that are alloyed to make it sturdier. Among ancient cultures, silver jewelry was a status symbol and a statement of riches. The existence of colored glass is indicative of skilled craftsmanship, as many cultures, especially those in the Middle East and the Roman Empire, refined their glassmaking processes. Some possible uses for the glass include inlay, decoration, or even structural support for the ring. The mix of silver and colorful glass could represent the merging of civilizations or the expansion of trade connections between other countries. This could imply exchanges between areas like Europe, the Middle East, or even farther away. The mystery of the Mona Lisa. Among the most renowned and mysterious artworks ever created, Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa dates to the early 1600s. For a long time, people have wondered who the woman in the artwork could be. Although the Florentine woman Lisa Gherardini has long been thought of as the likely author, other hypotheses propose alternative figures, such as da Vinci's mother or an idealized version of her. The enigmatic quality of the work is intensified by Leonardo's use of sfumato, a method of painting that produces a subtle shift in tone and hue. This method adds to the otherworldly aspect of the topic and setting, making them more mysterious and captivating. The historical importance, artistic merit, and air of mystery surrounding the Mona Lisa ensure that it will always hold the attention of art lovers. The beauty of the artwork is in the multitude of thoughts and feelings it evokes, even if many of these questions will never have satisfactory answers. It guarantees its position as an enduring masterpiece in art history by encouraging viewers to delve into not just the artwork, but also the psychological and cultural aspects associated with it. The Tash Winet mummy, a mummy before mummies. One fascinating object in the study of ancient mummification procedures is the Tash Winet mummy, which was found in the Tash Winet Valley in the Atlas Mountains of Morocco. The Tash Winet mummy sheds light on North African cultural traditions and burial practices of the prehistoric period, but it is frequently eclipsed by the more well-known mummies of ancient Egypt. Various cultures' perspectives on death and the afterlife can be better understood thanks to the Tash Winet mummy's discovery. It shows that there was a practice of caring for the dead that existed before the more famous Egyptian methods, and implies that concepts of mummification and preservation may have existed in different ways in all ancient civilizations. Ancient North African cultures had a wide variety of views on death and preservation, as shown by the intriguing Tash Winet mummy. It serves as a poignant reminder that intricate rituals around the afterlife probably predated the more well-known instances discovered in Egyptian history. The sword in the stone chapel of Moai in Tuscany. The legendary sword that only the rightful monarch can draw from a stone is the subject of The Sword in the Stone, a story that is sometimes linked with the legend of King Arthur. Many works of literature and folklore feature this motif, which has captivated the mind of many readers. The Sword in the Stone has been told in multiple stories, each with its own unique name and location. While the most famous rendition is from Le Morte d'Arthur by Sir Thomas Malory, the idea of a sword embedded in a stone appears in other works of literature as well. Many of Tuscany's historic sites and chapels have their own fascinating histories and creative traditions. On the other hand, there may be gaps in popular and historical accounts regarding the origins of the Chapel of Moai and its connection to the sword in the stone. The Tuscan area is a treasure trove of mythology, which may center on illustrious personalities, epic battles, or noble families. Sites in the area may use elements borrowed from the sword and the stone, such as heroic deeds, rightful leadership, and trials of character. Burial number 38 at La Almoloya. When people talk about ancient Mesoamerican rituals, particularly those of the pre-Columbian peoples who lived in places like Mexico today, they usually bring up burial number 38 at La Almoloya. Burial number 38 was discovered during excavations that sought to understand the ancient inhabitants' funerary rituals. Understanding social systems, rituals, and belief systems has been greatly aided by these digs. Excavations at La Almoloya and other pre-Columbian burial sites are yielding fresh clues about the people who lived there, their social structures, and their relationships with the natural world. The rich social and cultural fabric of the area may be better pieced together with each new find, like this grave, which increases our understanding of the past. The remains of a sea monster, pulled from the cliffs of Dorset. The Jurassic Coast in Dorset is well known for its Jurassic period fossils, and it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The coastal cliffs have been the site of several significant fossil discoveries, including those of marine reptiles, cephalopods, and other ancient animals. The ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs, two of the most prominent marine reptiles in this region, are sometimes slang named sea monsters for their enormous stature and terrifying looks. Discoveries in Dorset are noteworthy not merely for the fossils themselves, but also for the information they provide regarding the habitats and ecosystems of long-gone marine giants like the sea monster that called Dorset home. The 9 Rings of Orens. A group of enigmatic stone rings discovered in the northwest Spanish region of Orens in the Galician province are known as the 9 Rings of Orens. The area's rich archaeological and historical legacy includes these rings. According to popular belief, the 9 rings are actually a series of circular stone formations. Some of these stone formations are more noticeable than others due to their size or shape. Historians and archaeologists still disagree on when the rings were made and what they were used for. These buildings may have served as locations for ancient ceremonies or rituals, since they are believed to have been constructed before the Roman Empire. The rings are frequently linked to places of worship or burials that were prevalent in the region's pre- and ancient Celtic societies. Among the many possible uses for the 9 rings are religious observances, community meetings, and astronomical observations. They may have had a function in agricultural celebrations or rites of passage, according to some theories. Where is Alexander the Great buried? Alexander the Great's final resting place is a mystery that has persisted throughout history. Following his demise, Alexander's remains were embalmed and laid in a sarcophagus made of golden metal. His trusted friend Perdiccas oversaw the first burial preparations. After he died, a quarrel broke out among Alexander's generals about what to do with his body. The decision was made to transport his remains to Memphis, Egypt, in the end. Near the beginning of the 4th century BCE, a magnificent tomb was built in Alexandria to house Alexander's remains. Notable for its connection to the ultimate foundation of the world-famous Library of Alexandria, this tomb was situated in the city's old cemetery. The Roman Empire was the era in which the tomb was last seen for sure. The exact whereabouts of the tomb have been the subject of mystery and conjecture since it went missing in the early Middle Ages. There are several possible sites in Alexandria that have been suggested, but none of them have been confirmed. The Villa of Mysteries in Pompei. The Villa of Mysteries is perched on the outskirts of Pompei with a view of the valley of the Sarno River. It was probably a beautiful mansion held by a noble family in the 1st century BCE when it was constructed. The walls of the villa are adorned with breathtaking frescoes, known for its elaborate iconography, vivid colors, and extensive area coverage. Initiation rites into a mystifying religion, maybe associated with Dionysus, are among the many scenarios depicted in the murals. Typical Roman architecture is on display in this villa, which features a number of rooms arranged around an atrium. It has a sophisticated design with areas for dining, sleeping, and gatherings. The Villa of Mysteries is a popular spot for tourists who are exploring the Pompei ruins nowadays. The creative merit and the fascinating stories told in the frescoes are what really bring it to life. The Mask of Agamemnon. Discovered in the archaeological site of Mycenae in the late 19th century, the Mask of Agamemnon is among the most renowned relics from the ancient Greek Mycenaean civilization. The mask was found in 1876 by Heinrich Schliemann, a German archaeologist. Schliemann had been excavating in Mycenae, a location he thought might have been the ancient city of Agamemnon, the fabled commander of the Greek armies in the Trojan War. Standing at a height of almost 12 inches, this mask is crafted from gold. The stylized face is characterized by oversized features such as a beard, wide-open eyes, and a large nose. These artifacts are a testament to the sophisticated metalworking practices of the Mycenaeans. Experts think the mask was made between 1550 and 1500 BCE. This would put it in the Mycenaean era, specifically the late Helladic era. Because it was found in a tomb with other priceless artifacts, the circumstances surrounding its discovery imply that it might have been interred with royals. The mask was given the name Agamemnon by Schliemann because he thought the legendary monarch owned it, although this is not proven. But modern researchers have shown that the mask was already in use before Agamemnon's reign. Therefore, it can't be associated with him or his tale. The curious case of the copycat pyramids. The curious case of the copycat pyramids is a common way of describing the phenomenon wherein people from different parts of the world have created pyramids or monuments that look like pyramids, drawing interest because of the similarities between them, despite the different cultural and geographical backgrounds. The Egyptian pyramids at Giza may be the most well-known pyramids, but many other cultures and eras have built pyramids or structures like them. It is possible that pyramidal designs offer practical benefits in terms of structural integrity and stability, enabling the construction of enormous buildings utilizing materials that are readily available in different environments. Many cultures preferred pyramidal forms for monumental architecture because they represent stability and continuity. It's possible that similar architectural manifestations across isolated civilizations represent universal human problems, goals, and social structures, as seen by the recurrent pyramid theme. Cultural diffusion, in which one culture absorbs another's ideas and technology, or independent evolution, in which comparable solutions emerge in response to comparable social or environmental problems, are two possible interpretations of the concept of copycat pyramids. The mysterious floating city that appeared in China in 2018. The Chinese city of Huanshan in the province of Anhui was the purported site of an enigmatic floating city that surfaced in the media in 2008. A huge city-like structure suddenly materialized above the skyline, according to residents. Images of what seemed like buildings and structures floating in midair went viral on the internet, sparking debates about what exactly was going on. According to subsequent explanations, the floating city was actually a superior mirage. Such occurrences are possible in certain meteorological configurations, most notably when a layer of warm air sits above cold air that is close to the ground. As a result, light may be bent, giving the impression that objects beyond the horizon are visible in the sky. Many people were fascinated by the floating metropolis, which sparked debates on where it came from, what it meant, and whether it was a sign or a supernatural occurrence. Additionally, it aroused speculation on extraterrestrial life or superior technology. However, these theories lacked any solid scientific backing. The Moai of Easter Island. Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui, is a small island in the Southeast Pacific Ocean that is well known for its interesting and distinctive archaeological history and its famous monolithic sculptures, the Moai. Between 1400 and 1650 CE, the Moai sculpted using stone and volcanic ash. The biggest sculptures can reach heights of over 30 feet and weigh more than 80 tons. Moai sculptures, sculpted with tools fashioned from hard stones like basalt, typically have elongated heads and exaggerated facial features. These traits may represent the Rapa Nui people's reverence for family history. At the quarry of Rano Raraku, where they were originally cut, around half of the approximately 900 Moai that are dispersed across the island are still in various states of construction. The majority of Moai statues are located on coastal areas, with their faces turned inward to represent the town's defense. Conflicts between Moai clans led to the downfall of many of the majestic sculptures. Some of the Moai were even re-erected on their original bases as part of an effort to conserve and protect them in the latter half of the 20th century. The Shiva Linga of India. One of the main deities in Hinduism, Lord Shiva, is represented by the crucial symbol known as Thech Linga, or just Linga. The Linga is a devotional object and a corporeal manifestation of Shiva. Not only is the Shiva Linga a phallic symbol, but it also stands for the shapelessness of Shiva, the cosmic soul, and the creative force behind the cosmos. The masculine and feminine halves of creation are both reflected in it. Many see the Linga as a representation of the merging of the divine feminine and masculine, with the two powers standing in harmony. Stone, metal, or clay are some of the common materials used to create Shiva Lingas. As a symbol of the shapeless divine, it is typically cylindrical with a tapering top. Shiva Lingas can be found in numerous temples around India. The most well-known ones can be found at Varanasi, Kedarnath, and Somnath. The venerated Linga serves as the center of worship at the Kashi Vishwanath Temple in Varanasi, which is regarded as one of the holiest sites for devotees of Shiva. The Shiva Linga is an integral part of Hindu temple construction and art, in addition to being a sacred symbol. The rich cultural traditions associated with Lord Shiva in Hindu mythology are showcased via many types of art, literature, and sculptures. The mystery of Banksy's identity. The controversial and frequently politically charged artwork of Banksy has made him a household name around the world. The mystery and allure of his character are heavily reliant on his anonymity. Despite being famous all across the world, Banksy has kept his identity a secret. Including his actual name, age, and history, he has purposefully kept these things hidden since the start of his profession. His identity has been the subject of much conjecture and theory because of this. Many hypotheses concerning Banksy's real identity have evolved throughout the years. Some of these explanations place him as an individual artist, while others place him in a group. Robin Gunningham, a British artist, has been mentioned as a possible suspect. This name came up in reports that attempted to connect it to Banksy by shared geographical patterns and lifestyle factors. Some have speculated that Banksy is actually a famous artist or figure from the art world, like Damien Hirst, or perhaps someone from the band Massive Attack. The fascination and involvement with Banksy's artwork are greatly enhanced by the fact that his identity remains a mystery. By removing the artist's identity, viewers are free to focus on the work rather than the artists themselves, opening the door to more inclusive conversations about art, society, and politics. It is interesting to see how so many cultures have many things in common, especially with the Egyptians. But knowing how this occurred is still a mystery. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. Thanks for watching and see you next time.